what's going on, Solid Steppers? This is Miss Ward coming to you from Florida. Per usual, sun shines out, full in effect. I already knocked out several jobs, well, enough jobs this morning. I'm not going to say several, because I had a lot going on. Maintaining. Anyway, I wanted to have a conversation there. I really had it on my mind this morning, but I was so booked and loaded, I needed to focus on running my business, not talking to y'all. But this is the reality, y'all. You know, I see a lot of people out here trying to run, 7, 8, 9, 10, calls. I feel like when you're starting out, you need to be doing 2 and 3 and doing those well. And I think you need to fine tune your craft. You have to decide if you're really going to be a one man. You got to make sure that you're running it in such a way that even as a one-man show, if you have to scale it, you already have things in place to win. I think a lot of times when people come into business, they're so busy trying to skimp and save money, they don't put processes in place. And you'll hear me say this all the time. You'll get in appliance repair and start to hate it because as you build the volume, you don't have things in place to handle the volume. That's where apps like WORKIZ come into place, with the call queues and things of that nature. But the number one thing you got to focus on is taking care of the customer, and making sure that you are attracting the customers that you want. There are a lot of customers that will waste your time. But as you get into the game and understand the business, you'll understand where to advertise, who to deal with as far as leads. All that has to do with the caliber of customers. Some people do service direct, some people do thumbtack, some people do Home Depot. It all depends on your market. But you need to do enough data and research so that when you put your dollars on the ground, that you know that you're getting the max for your buck. You can't do that if you don't sit back and study the demographics in the areas that you serve. Like for instance, in Florida we have different calibers of customers. We have customers that live in these private communities, restricted access. A lot of them have come from, old money. Some don't. Some come from new money. But each customer you deal with differently. You provide that level of excellence as far as service and quality of work, but also you respect their time and their schedules. Like I was 4 hours early to a customer, but I communicated with her because I'm trying to streamline my process and I have a way that I move. Like there may be a job that I know is going to take me a little longer. I'm going to knock out all my quick jobs early, and then I'm going to leave enough time for the job that may be slightly challenging so that I can make sure that I still can make any other obligations I have. Because my biggest deal right now is that I not only have this business, but I have other businesses and other things that are demanding my time. In order for me to give those other ventures the adequate time, I have to make sure that not only is this running well, but that I don't have any issues. So if I have a complaint or an issue, I resolve it immediately and I learn a lesson. I'm not going back. That's how I look at it. I'm not going to go back and continue to deal with issues. If there's something that my staff is dealing with and we have a continuous issue, a reoccurring issue, I'm not touching it anymore. And the reason I'm not going to touch it is you got two choices. You got people either going to step up, take training seriously, learn how to do it. If you don't know how to do it, don't touch it. That's my personal opinion. If you're not going to invest in what you need to learn, and be willing to take the financial blows of learning how to do it properly and maybe doing it incorrectly this time off a little bit. Like prime example, it's a lot of people that hate Samsung ice makers. They hate doing them because you never know if it's going to be fixed right. The only reason you don't know it's going to be fixed right because you really don't know how to do it. Now, you might be following it step by step, but there are people in my camp, thank God again, who give me game at another level. Like, I'm humble enough to go to people like Ben, Brandon, Richard, and ask them their opinion. Then I take all that stuff and mash it together and I create something that I know I can win at. Now that's their years of experience that happens to be at my disposal that I humbly and graciously appreciate. And ask any of them, they'll tell you I do. I don't just go to ask people for stuff empty-handed. That's what I can't stand. is people who want to ask questions and ask you how to do something, but they don't send you a cash app. I mean, even when I'm dealing with Ben and Brandon, even though I don't have to, I send them a damn cash app, and I know both of them got plenty of money. The reality is, I'm like, look, what can I do to serve you? Like, Ben will say, yo, you don't need it? I don't need anything. I'm like, okay. Anyway, you better believe I got that cash app, though. Because at the end of the day is, he just saved me so much time and recall by giving me game at another level. Same thing with Brandon, same thing with Q, same thing with Darian, same that thing with Slick. Anybody I talk to in my group, we got that kind of relationship. And then we always sharing information that you will never hear on this channel because you really ain't ready for it, number one. And if I gave it to you, you wouldn't know what to do with it. Let's just keep it a buck. So stay in your lane and do what you know. That's where I'm at. It's not that hard, you know, and that's how I do it. You don't see me out here flossing. I'm doing this, I'm doing that. No. Because I am a businesswoman first. I am going where the profit and low recall is. And that's all. This is a business to me. This is not my lifelong call in life. Now, you got some guys, they live and breathe. Like Bobby Howard, hats off to that, bro. That's my brother from another mother. He out here grinding. Now, if you want to follow somebody, him, Mike Check, those two, all day long, follow them all day long because they about their business. They got this appliance game down and they move accordingly. And I got the utmost respect for both of them. You know, but like I said, there's a lane for everybody. Me, my eyes on totally different things because I'm going to use my experience in appliance repair in other areas of my life to make more paper because I'm a businesswoman first. Don't hate me, hate the game. Anybody in my circle know the moves I'm making, and they making sure they watch them so they can come right behind me and get theirs. Because that's how we move as a team. You know, if you're at my table, you're going to definitely eat if I'm eating. But that's the name of the game, you know. But you got to realize these people have earned my respect and earned my loyalty. So if they call me and say, Shell, I need some information on business credit. Shell, what you got on government contract? Shell, what you got here? What you got? I'm going to give them the game because that's how we roll. You know, and you can't do that with everybody. So like I said, focus on what you know how to do. Do that extremely well. Extremely well, because there's going to come a day when that skill set's going to pay off. And then if you want to get deeper into it, you go ahead and focus on other things. I know guys right now making a killing on one thing, which is damn wall ovens. And the old Whirlpool wall ovens with the microwaves that nobody want to touch. It's people who, those things are like 15, 16, 17, 18, 20 years old. These people do not want to part with them, and they're willing to pay whatever to keep them running, just because it's like a member of the family. I myself, I'm not trying to be bothered, because I'm not looking for parts, I'm not sending boards out, and I'm not doing with the drama of obsolete parts or something else breaking after I'm there. But that's not my area. Hey, I'm okay. I have no problem with referring it to the professionals in my circle so they can eat. Because if it come across my table and I can't do it, it's going to one of my peoples. Period. And that's just how you do business. You're supposed to look out. A lot of people don't do that. They're too busy running their mouth. You don't hear me saying a lot lately because I'm so tied up and I'm so blessed. I'm trying to manage my blessings. That's what I'm doing. In fact, I am managing my blessings. How about that? And meditating on staying positive and allowing more to come into my space so that I can be given more stewardship over that. But you got to manage yourself first. And like I said, you guys, focus on what you can do it well. Focus on your customer base, growing from there, and stay with the customers that appreciate what you bring to the table. I do not work with customers that I got to go back and forth. I'm not bargaining. I'm not discounting. That's just not who I am. There's a tech for that, but it's not Miss Wood. Okay? And I'm not knocking anybody that do. Please understand, but I'm hardcore business, period. Everything else is irrelevant. I invest in my images. I invest in my websites. I invest in my leads. I invest in the 2021 that I'm rolling in. I invest in the uniforms we show up in. We don't show up in no damn polos. We suited and booted, boo. But that's because I'm dealing with a certain clientele. It is what it is. So with that said, I'm going to let y'all go. That's enough for today. And I'll holler at y'all later, Solid Steppers. If you need any coaching, the link's in the description.